Now, governments around the world are working round the clock to try and repatriate their nationals who are presently stuck in Ukraine once hostilities had broken out. And many are coordinating with the neighbouring embassies to help cross the borders. Now, India has launched a campaign to evacuate at least about 16,000 Indians, most of them young students who had gone to Ukraine to pursue their higher studies. And all of them are stuck right now. But the Indian government has been working round the clock. It has been speaking with the Ukrainian officials and also with the officials of other neighbouring nations to try and bring all of these students back. 2 flights are expected to depart from Bucharest later in the day today. As we speak, an Air India flight carrying about 240 Indians has taken off from Budapest and is, of course, heading back home. Now, the second flight from Romania's Bucharest landed in Delhi in the early hours of the morning earlier today. 250 Indian nationals were, of course, on board. And the Union's Civil Aviation Minister and the Minister for State for External Affairs welcomed them at the airport.
And as you go back home, please be assured all you are in Ukraine not to worry, be patient. Today the Honorable Prime Minister spoke to the Ukrainian President also and requested him to keep all Indians safe and secure.
All right, now to get us more updates in terms of what is happening with the repatriation of the Indian students who are stuck in Ukraine, we are joined in by my colleague Siddhant, who is joining us live on this broadcast. Now, good afternoon to you, Siddhant. Bring us up to speed with what is happening with these Indian students who are presently stuck in Ukraine, that the government is working so hard to try and get them back home.
Well, we know that there has been a plan which has been put in place, and this plan basically is to send the MEA officials. Most of them have reached the border areas of countries to the western border of Ukraine. So these countries are Poland, Hungary, Romania, and these countries have seen, of course, the influx of refugees. And many Indian students are crossing the border to come into these countries. And the situation, of course, remains dire because I have been getting a lot of messages by these students that when it comes to these border crossing, there are the visuals of chaos, and of course they are seeking help. But of course, the Indian government is trying its level best, as it has been doing in the past, to make sure that these Indian nationals are brought back. Already we know that almost 400 Indian nationals have been brought back, and now focus is to get more Indians back. The government hired Air India flights have already reached in many of these countries, Romania, Hungary, and shortly will be bringing more Indian nationals. But it is a difficult task because it's not bringing them from Romania and Hungary or Poland, a tough task, but from Ukraine, from the interiors of Ukraine, from areas where there are heavy shelling by the Russians, from there to the border area. That is the big task for the Indian government and, of course, the Indian mission in Kiev as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant, for joining us and getting us all those updates. This, of course, is the latest in terms of what is happening, where almost about 16,000 Indian students who are stuck in Ukraine, they're all being brought back home. And the Indian government is, of course, working overtime to try and accomplish this mission. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.